Hey, this is Mr. Zombie Hunter 88, and I'm gonna do a review about some weapons that you could use for zombies. Now, 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 we all want a katana or something really nice to use for zombies, but sometimes your budget can't handle that. Maybe you need something a little bit cheaper. So I have a collection of weapons that cost under $5 that you can use to kill zombies. And I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of each one of them, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. Now, first up, we have this machete. It has no real. Let's see if I can get on the camera. It has no real brand name. It's just generic machete. You can find these at the flea markets. They run anywhere from $2 to $5. As you see, this is my go-to machete, and it's made. Well, the one I have is actually made in Japan, but some of the later models are made in. This is the sheath, how it looks. I had to sew up the sheath because it was coming apart a little bit. And here's the machete. Hopefully this comes out. I had to put some extra wrapping on here because it's coming apart. And as you can see, it's called a heavy machete. And this is my go-to blade that I use for cutting wood and stuff like that. I've used it for a number of years. And as I said, they run anywhere from $2 to $5 for this. And all the weapons I have here, except for maybe one, are $5 or less. And so we're going to see what this can do. Oh yeah, this blade is made out of, they run from 440 to 420 stainless steel. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's a pretty tough blade. I mean, see, pretty tough blade. So it can handle, most stuff. So let's see what it can do on a simple 2-liter jug. Okay, that was pretty good. Sometimes I don't step into the cut all the way, so that's why kind of cutting kind of a little janky like that. But it did the job. Now, the only downside to this is that, yeah, it is stainless steel, and it's a pretty tough blade, but it gets dull pretty quickly if you use it on a lot of hard stuff. I mean, usually if I'm cutting wood with it, I can cut through a few bushes and crap like this. Every once in a while, and it'll get most of it done, but it does get dull, and it will chip a little if you use it on near concrete, stuff like that. But other than that, it's a pretty good weapon. For $5, the heavy machete, stainless steel. Next up, we have a hatchet. This one, it has, I believe there's a carbon steel head on here. Paid $3 for this at the flea market. Yep, this carbon steel head. It weighs a pound and 1/4, pound and a quarter. I guess it weighs 20 ounces, I guess. And it's I'd wanted to get a tactical tomahawk, but I got cheap, and this is what I bought. As you see, it has a blade, hammerhead on the back, so you can smash some zombie skulls if that's what it came to. It's pretty good. The grips are pretty good. This is made out of fiberglass. And I haven't used it very much, but let's see what it can do. Okay, guess it did alright. Cons with this is that it's a little bit short. It's not like having a sword or a machete where you have a longer blade, so you have to kind of focus your efforts on this little bitty spot right here, on this blade. And you can't really throw this. I mean, you can if you're really good at throwing axes and stuff like that, you could, but pretty okay weapon. As I said, I got this for $5, I believe, at the flea market, and you can find hatchets like this at the flea market for about that price. And next up I have another weapon. Now, on The Walking Dead, they use a lot of knives for close range combat, you know, stabbing straight into the zombie skull. So, the next two weapons I have are knives. And this one, it's a butterfly knife. Flip that open. Butterfly knife. It has a 4.5-inch long stainless steel blade, partially serrated. This one's a little bit fancy. I paid $15 for it, but they usually retail for at the flea markets and places like that around here for about $3 to $5, and you can get a pretty good blade. And I'm just going to go over the pros and cons of this right quick. Pros, it's a nice, thick knife you can use to stab with. You can go like this. You can come straight down, that. Or flip it around and stab. And you get it's a pretty good weapon. Cons about this weapon is that butterfly knives, they're not legal in some states. Say I live in Florida, they are illegal. You can use them, you can buy them, you can carry them, but I wouldn't recommend getting one unless you know the legality of in your state. Mine is okay. And also this locking mechanism. A lot of these knives, especially these cheap ones, they're not really good. So you can be carrying this in your pocket, and they can easily disengage and open up and stab you in the leg. When it's in its open position, like that, if it's open, I mean, no problem. But you close it, sometimes, as you see, it doesn't want to lock. So, let's try this out on this 2-liter and see what it can do. Okay, as you see, it's better at stabbing. Good stabbing weapon. Slicing, not so much. Just lacks the momentum. But if you were to get one of these, they're pretty good for outdoor use. Flip the clothes. Probably should have bought a rag out here. And it can do okay. I mean, butterfly knives, in my opinion, not really worth the money. I mean, if that's your thing to have a big knife like that, yeah. But me, I prefer something smaller. something like that. So, next up. Next up we have a sheath knife. This one I actually bought out of Target. It's Outdoor Life. It says Outdoor Life right on the edge. No, I got this at Kmart. Sorry, I got this at Kmart for $5. It's a little over 3.5 inches, maybe it's 4 inches. I didn't measure it, but it's around about 3.5 to 4 inches. It's a sheath knife, so you get a nice fixed blade. It has good grips. Unlike the butterfly knife, this actually is designed for outdoor use. It's a hunting knife. And comes with this nice Cordura sheath. Not nylon, this is actually Cordura. And has a buckle right here, so you can wear it on your belt and keep the knife closed. And it's a pretty good knife. This is actually a hunting knife, as I said, so it's pretty good. It has good weight. You can use it for the same thing, for stabbing straight into the zombie skull, you can stab, throat action, stuff like that. So let's try it on a jug and see what happens. Not too good with knives, but as you see, packs it open pretty good. Okay, I made 2 cuts, one high up here, a little bit lower. And because this is a pretty short blade, it's hard for me to wield. But as I said, I mean, if I was in C2B against a zombie, this would be pretty good. I could just come straight down to the skull. You know, just come straight down like that. Stab right into the skull like they do on The Walking Dead. You go through the eye socket with a stab. And because of its grips on here, you can hold on pretty good. There's actually a hole on here for lanyard, so you could put a lanyard on it. We have up in here. It's an actual. This is a carbon steel 1075 carbon steel machete. It's traditionally made. Has a wood handle. I put some electrical tape around it. It's a 21-inch blade. And the reason I'm bringing this out, I'm not going to say where I bought it from, because I don't want to dog anybody out, but I wanted to show you what happens when, with this. This is actually carbon steel. It's been sharpened, stuff like that, and I'm going to test it on this jug, and I'm going to show you how well it can cut. Better job than I thought. You got one particularly good cut out of it. But the reason why I brought this out here is that I don't use this very much. And the reason why I don't use this particular one very much is that, as you saw, it doesn't always make nice clean cuts. And And because, unlike this stainless steel heavy machete, this has a very thick blade on it, and so you can chop into stuff. That one, just put them side by side. As you see, the bottom one is thicker, and the blade on them also is different. This has a thicker blade profile. And the reason why I brought it out here because I just wanted to show you the difference between the two. Heavy machete. You see, this can cut just as well if you get some practice. And speaking of machetes, I know I'm kind of rambling and this might not make sense, but when you're using a machete, you want to use your whole arm, like this. Whole arm. Don't bend the elbow and then cut. Use your whole arm. It's like a wakizushi. And use the whole arm. Come through, follow through, cut. Come through, follow through, cut. Or you come straight down. You don't want to just swing your arm like that. That's not going to get the job done. You have to use the whole arm for a powerful cut. And, by the way, as I said, getting back to my point, you got the heavy machete, $2 to $5. Got your hatchet right here. Got your hatchet, about $5 usually at the flea market. Sheath knife, $5 retail at Target, Kmart. You can probably find one at Walmart, but you know, this one's actually made in the United States too. If you all want to get in it. Okay. Butterfly knife, made in China. They're probably $5. This one's nice and custom and has belt clips, so it's more. And you know, these are the weapons you can find if in a zombie apocalypse, or if you're preparing for zombie apocalypse and you can't afford an actual wakizushi or a katana or a really good machete. If you only got $5 to spend, any of these will get the job done. I mean, if I had to choose one, I probably would go with the heavy machete. Even though this 21-inch blade, it looks pretty good, and for some reason why today it was cutting pretty well. As I said, this one has a very weak profile on it, so my cut stuff, it sometimes go over the place. And as I said, I mean, it's a little bit hard to use, and it's very flimsy. I mean, I can just bend this with my hand very easily. Heavy machete? No, can't bend that. So, as I said, I mean, if you wanted to get a weapon for the zombie apocalypse, and you were low on funds, any four of those weapons would do. And I guess I'm out. So,